Dr. George and I met 40 years ago. Well, I asked him what he did. And he said, well, that's confidential. And I thought, well, who is this guy?
He was a real luminary in emergency medicine, but I was struck immediately by just how intelligent he was.
Dr. George is a highly accomplished scholar, a person who has got both an MD and JD, and there are not many of them in the world.
He wrote the first text on law and emergency medicine.
His firsthand knowledge of emergency medicine made him a better lawyer, and I think he would tell you that his law degree and his law practice maybe made him a better doctor.
And Jim was one of the founders of the specialty of emergency medicine and a very influential figure in the formation of the American College of Emergency Physicians.
So he really was taking his clinical practice on the one hand, taking his law degree on the other, and using both of them very actively to help and support people in this profession.
But when you talk to him, you see a humble individual, a person who loves life and wants to move forward irrespective of any circumstance.
When Dr. George enters a room, people gravitate towards him.
He hugs you, he shakes hands with you, and he just makes you feel as if you have been his friend for years. That's the kind of person he is.
I got to know Dr. George in 2016, a few days after his injury. I had never had that amount of people reach out to me when someone had been injured before. I just wanted to meet him in person and let him know that I had been through a similar injury.
So Jim fell at his home, hyperflexed his head, and the first night we thought it was all a head injury. It was not until the next morning that we found out that he was paralyzed. He survived and then spent 6 months rehabbing at McGee Hospital.
He was constantly fighting hours upon hours throughout that therapy session to get better. And there's other patients next to him being inspired just watching him go through his recovery. He's a person that you could tell really cared about the community, who had given tremendous amounts of care and love to so many people throughout his life. And this was a moment where he needed it back from all of us.
He recovered completely mentally. He recovered as much as humanly possible physically, and he's continued to develop a wide range of new skills, in particular in his art.
He embraced art as part of his healing, and it just filled the void.
And you can see in his artwork how art can heal.
Dr. George has been a member of our foundation board for 10 years, but more importantly, he has also been a great advocate for the university. He has been a philanthropist. He created the Center for Healing Arts, and hopefully from that comes many new young generation of therapeutic individuals who are going to heal other people.
Dr. George is a person that's willing to help anybody, but what I've seen throughout my years knowing him is his affection for kids. And, you know, when we think about vulnerable people who need the most assistance, those are the people that Dr. George is always going to gravitate to.
Virtua's CASTLE program stands for Children Achieving Success Through Therapeutic Life Experiences. Having Dr. George in our life has made a profound difference in the way we provide treatment.
When I see him with these children, he lights up. He lights up with the kids like I'd ever see him light up in any other group.
I thought about all the organizations that he's helping with his art and with his philanthropy, and it's just amazing how many lives he's touching.
Over the years, Dr. George has really supplied us not just with materials, but also the space.
He will expose as many to the healing powers that are brought to him.
It gives me hope that under the worst of circumstances, one needs to keep on moving forward and living and enjoying life.
Any of his good work isn't for personal attention or for accolades or to be thanked. He does it because that's what's in his heart. And when you think of a humanitarian, that's what those people truly do.
The CASTLE programs are so dear to me. The patients are so dear to me. He has inspired me to just keep moving forward and to keep seeking out the best for them, because that's what they deserve.
Jim, on behalf of Virtua's Board of Trustees and as your friend, I'm honored to extend my heartfelt congratulations to you on being named Virtua's Humanitarian of the Year. You've been an inspiration to so many. Congratulations.
Dr. George, congratulations on the Humanitarian of the Year award. For all those that you've touched and impacted throughout your years of service, we all just want to say thank you.
Jim, congratulations on being the 2024 Humanitarian of the Year. You deserve it. You've earned it. We're proud of you.
Congratulations, my dear friend, Dr. George. You're an amazing human being, and I could not think of anybody else who is deserving of such an award.
Dr. George, congratulations. And I want to say thank you from me, from the staff, but especially from the children and the families for this opportunity that you have provided us.
Jim, congratulations on being the Virtua 2024 Humanitarian of the Year honoree. I can think of no one who deserves it more. The only question I have is, can you get it more than once?